The normal way life has been in this country. The normal way the politicians and capitalist imperialist class they serve have ruled over the people is in the process of being radically transformed with the election of Trump into a Trumpian MAGA fascist America. But that doesn't mean they are destined to succeed. We have something to say and to do about that, fighting for a completely indifferent and liberating future. Trump is defying all the normal ways that political power has been traditionally transferred from one section of the ruling class to the other. By appointing anti-science, anti-humanity, anti-women, anti-LGBTQ, white supremacist, America firster, Christian fascist, literalist, Bible thumpers to his cabinet, Trump is putting facts on the ground. His motley crew of fascists that includes certifiable nutcases is intended to stun, to intimidate into submission, and to paralyze his opponents in the Democratic Party, as well as all decent people who do not want to live in this dark world. Bolting into place, this full-out American fascist agenda is spewed daily by Trump and his MAGA minions and written into a plan called Project 2025 should not be all smooth sailing, and it need not be. People who care about humanity, who yearn for a just world, need to prepare and to get organized now to stop it. This is why we, the RevComs, have raised two slogans, the first of which is, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. Bob Avakian, the revolutionary leader who has developed the understanding, the blueprint, the road forward for a way to fight forward for a radically different and far better society with the goal of emancipating all of humanity, has said of this current situation that we are living in two countries within this country. And speaking to the country of decent people who aspire to stop the oppression of this system and not live in a fascist America, BA speaks to what must be urgently understood and acted on in his social media message, Revolution number 102. Now listen carefully to how he speaks of the divide that runs all through society and what is to be done.
It is time, and urgently so, for the only positive revolutionary resolution of all this. Time to resolve this fundamental divide by finally and decisively defeating the fascist country, and doing so as part of putting an end to this whole system which has given rise to this fascism, along with all its other atrocity. This is not a time for demoralization and despair, resulting from accepting things on the terms of this system. This is a time for righteous anger and revolutionary determination, a time to finally bring about a decisive, emancipating, revolutionary resolution to this conflict which, in a very real sense, has marked the United States from the time of its founding in slavery and genocide to the time today when it is the world's most deadly and destructive oppressor, dangerously threatening the future and the very existence of humanity. Time to take up and fight for what we RevComs, revolutionary communists, have clearly put forward in we need and we demand a whole new way to live, a fundamentally different system. The existing capitalist imperialist system and institutions of government in this country must be abolished and dismantled and replaced by a new socialist system based on the Constitution for the new socialist republic in North America.
Today, I am announcing what will be an ongoing series on the RNL Revolution Nothing Less show that digs deep into this declaration and demand. The brutal, life-altering changes of Trump's attempt to impose a fascist America will shake people to their core. The disruption, the shock, has the potential to push masses of people to ask, why is this happening? What can be done? And to resist. but more than that, is necessary, required, and possible. That is why we are also raising a crucial second slogan to guide the people in this time. This whole system is rotten and illegitimate. We need and we demand a whole new way to live, a fundamentally different system. To begin this series, listen to the opening of this declaration read by Noche Diaz of the National Revcom Corps for the Emancipation of Humanity.
We need and we demand a whole new way to live, a fundamentally different system. In the name of the people, the billions in this country and throughout the world who are treated as less than human, enslaved, exploited, oppressed, terrorized, brutalized and murdered by police, and slaughtered by the armed forces of this system we are now forced to live under, the system of capitalism imperialism. In the name of humanity, the billions in all parts of the world who are denied a decent life and a future worth living in, or any future at all, threatened with literal extinction because of the destruction of the environment by this system and the danger of nuclear war between the U.S. and its rivals in Russia and China, all of them ruthless imperialist powers. We can no longer afford to allow these imperialists to continue to dominate the world and determine the destiny of humanity. And it is a scientific fact that humanity does not have to live this way.
The Declaration continues building towards its demand, quote, a whole different way of living is possible, a whole different way to organize society, with a radically different economic foundation and political system, emancipating relations among people, and an uplifting culture. All of this oriented to meeting the basic needs and fulfilling the highest interests of the masses of people. With the urgency the situation requires, we declare and demand the existing capitalist imperialist system and the institutions of government in this country must be abolished and dismantled and be replaced by a new socialist system based on the Constitution for the new Socialist Republic in North America. So in the coming weeks, we're going to be getting into this, getting into it deeply. To understand why this declaration is so important, we will continue to go deeply into why Bob Avakian has said that the only positive revolutionary resolution to the situation where we are living with two fundamentally opposed countries within one border is by finally and decisively defeating the fascist country, and doing so as part of putting an end to the whole system which has given rise to this fascism, along with all of its other atrocities. We're going to break down why the first part of our demand is that the existing capitalist imperialist system and the institutions of government in this country must be abolished and dismantled. This will involve getting into just what is the U.S. Constitution, whose interest does it serve, and why does it work against the interests of humanity. Then we're going to take some time to get into what the Constitution for the new Socialist Republic in North America makes possible. The declaration we need and we demand says, quote, the Constitution for the new Socialist Republic in North America is completely, fundamentally different than the U.S. Constitution. This new Constitution for a new Socialist Republic provides a sweeping vision, a firm foundation, and concrete blueprint for bringing into being a society and ultimately a world free from all forms of slavery and exploitation and oppression, based on class, race, sex, and gender, all relations in which one part of humanity is subordinated to and dominated by others. End quote. A member of the Revcom Corps for the Emancipation of Humanity said at a recent meeting discussing the Declaration that their family keeps asking them, how are things going to be different in the society that you're fighting for? Well, we're going to break all this down as the weeks go forward, starting with the 6 points for the Constitution for the new Socialist Republic in North America that are in the Declaration. 1, a whole new dimension of freedom and rights for the people. 2, a whole different economy to meet fundamental needs and serve highest interests. 3, eliminating discrimination, inequality, and oppression in every form. 4. Education to actually educate and empower masses of people. 5. Healthcare to serve the people. 6. Abolishing nuclear weapons, finally abolishing war, and systematically addressing the environmental crisis. Just from those titles, we can see that there's a whole new world here to get into. There really is no other constitution or founding document for a new society like what Bob Avakian has written into this constitution. So there's an urgent need for this broadsheet, for this demand, for this constitution, in opposition to a fascist America and to the whole rotten and illegitimate system that brought us to this juncture, to be known far and wide right now. Raise this demand now. Post it everywhere online. Get it up on the walls. Get deeply into it. Talk about it with people. Hold meetings about it, online and IRL. Millions of people need to see this. They need to know it exists. They need to learn about what it says, and this is essential right now when the political situation is still in flux and in turmoil. The promotion of this declaration now is a crucial point in the strategic orientation and practical approach from the RevComs titled Revolution, building up the basis to go for the whole thing with a real chance to win. Then, as things sharpen and develop, where there are masses of organized, determined, disciplined people willing to fight for this demand to be real, is a critical part of creating the conditions for a real revolution. And this, too, we're going to be getting into in future Revolution Nothing Less shows.